Good afternoon, everybody. How you doing? It's me, Paddy from across the Shuck, and you're very welcome back to the channel. And I'm going to start with a couple of announcements quickly. Tomorrow night at 7:30, I've got two lives this week. So one tomorrow night at 7:30, and I'm doing a one-on-one with Joe from Messer HQ. Really looking forward to that. We both picked a category of knives that I picked British knives. He's picked German. One because he's living there and I'm living here. So we're sort of going to do a little comparison on knives and why we like them. It's not an against each other. It's just a comparison of knives. But we're just going to chat for about an hour at the most, and it's just a chat about pocket knives, what we think of them, and we'll have a chat with you in the comments. So don't be surprised if it veers off in different directions during the hour. I have no control over my head. So I've got that tomorrow. On Wednesday, I'm doing a sharpening video on this baby. This is a Kansip Convict, and I'm going to do it on my Kuramachi, the Shapton. That's a splash and go. It's 1,000 grit, and this is not going to be a reprofile. It's just a quick sharpen. I'm going to blunt it in front of your eyes, and then we'll sharpen it. And I want to see, because it's just 1,000 grit, but it is a Shapton. Um, I just want to see. I've been gradually taking it up in blade steel. This is S35EM, which is going to be the highest it's been so far. And I'm dying to see how it does, just putting an edge back on and sharpening, because it's not diamonds. And everybody keeps saying, powdered metal, it needs to be diamond. I don't believe so. This is so good. I believe it will cope with this fairly well. But we'll see on Wednesday. I haven't done it yet. I haven't tried it. This will be the first on these stones. Normally, I would take that to a diamond stone, but I'm just seeing how good this stone is. And then on Thursday night at 7:30 again, myself and Justin have our podcast, and we have Xing Chan, who's a custom maker from here in the UK. He's been full-time custom making for about 15 years, and it'll be great to hear his story into custom knife making. What's his likes, dislikes, what does he like making, what does he make for other people? But it's just going to be a great conversation. So looking forward to him because it is new to me. I've seen his knives about for years, but I actually bought one there recently, and I'll do a review on it. It might even be today. I don't know. I don't know whether to do it on Thursday. I'll maybe do it on Wednesday. I'll maybe do that sharpening video on Friday. I'll do the review on his knife on Wednesday. There you go. So you'll get to look at it, and then the next night he's going to be on. That'll do. I was going to do it today. I've just realised that. I'm a dummy. Bye. So I'll do the review of it. Sorry, I'll do the sharpening on Friday. Oh, dear, dear. There's my week sorted out now. So let's get into these knives. Two beautiful knives. One's from Almar and one's from Moki. One's made in China and one is made in Japan. Now, I believe Almar started out his knives getting made from Moki, but I could be wrong. You know what my research is like? It's very haphazard. But I believe that's what Almar knives used to be made by Moki. And you can see the comparison to these two lockbacks. They're not copies, they're just a comparison. Um, and I'm not sure when they changed to be made in China. I think it was a few years ago. I'm not sure how many, but they started in 1979. Whereas Moki, on the other hand, have been going from 1907 in Japan, in Seki City, which we all know is a city that is well liked by Sal Glesser from Spyderco Knives, to name but one. But any knives made in Seki City in the good factories are good. They are excellent. Absolutely excellently made knives. But this is excellently made as well, although it's made in China. Go figure. Have you heard that said before? But anyhow, what they do come in, this comes in a lovely box, lovely hard box, basic inside, but you get a leather slip with it, which I think is a nice addition to the little pocket knife. The Moki, again, this is a fancier box. It has this lovely ribbed corrugated, oh, there we go, this lovely ribbed corrugated paper in there. And in the inside of that, you'll get this little Moki. Now, this is a nylon pouch with a leather insert here at the front with your Moki. This has got a side drawer. So if you want to carry this in your belt, what a lovely way to carry. I just think that is beautiful. This is high quality. This is not a cheap, just random bit of nylon they put in here. It is beautifully made, well supported, well covered in the areas it should be. This is elastic and not just, this is good elastic, which is tight, but it'll allow it to get over most belts that we're going to have. So love that, I have to say, love it. Um, where did I, oh, there you go. So that's the boxes. They're both lovely boxes, but the Moki has it on, for me, just on the class of it. So the knives. Okay, there is a price difference, big price difference between this and this. Um, I must mention before I go on here, my beautiful granddaughter done this lovely presentation of the two boxes there this morning. My granddaughter is 9 year old. She does that makeup herself, which scares the living daylights out of me. And if you're a grandparent, I'm sure you've felt that. But it's just scary. She's 9 year old going on 19. Absolutely scares me to death. But she is beautiful, and I thank her for doing my little show at the front of it. I had to mention her name or she'll tell me off. So, these two knives, there is a big difference in price. I believe there's a reason. I hope to explain to you why during this sort of reveal. We'll start with the lesser priced one. And this is not a lesser knife, it's a lesser priced one. These both knives will do the same job in the same efficiency, almost. Almost. There is little differences that make it for me. Now, this one is thumb stud operated. You can pinch it with one hand, but because you got this big swedge here, where you naturally go to pinch a knife, that's where it is. So it's not meant for pinching. If you had damp or sweaty hands, you wouldn't be able to do it. But that's okay because it's made to be opened with the thumb stud, and it opens beautifully. I have to say, gorgeous little knife, and it's got a mid back lock, which I tend to prefer because you have more control over that opening at the top, in my opinion. So I prefer the opening of a nail nick, and this is a completely pinch easy, than this, but it is done to perfection. Let's just start with the fit and finish. That blade is beautiful, very stabby looking, very angry looking blade, I think, but that is Almar style. He was born in America from Chinese immigrants, and he started his knife company in 1979. Um, so he's a fairly, if you like, it's fairly new as a knife company, but it's been going quite a while at the same time. So his inspiration comes from his life. He was a reserve special forces. Then in the Vietnam War, he went in and served in the special forces in Vietnam. And when he set up his knife company, he made an awful lot of it. It was a Sear series that were very much towards the army, the police. He served in the police as well as a deputy sheriff, I believe. So he had a real active life. He was also a judo proponent and kendo. So all his life experiences was around confrontation or quelling confrontation, or in the war using stabby pokey things. So that's where he got his inspiration from, I believe. Um, I don't know when it changed from being made in Japan. And again, there's something in the back of my mind. I could be wrong, but I do believe these were made in Japan, probably under the Moki brand. But somebody will let me know. Hopefully, that's why I like my subs. They are amazingly knowledgeable. So the blade is absolutely beautiful, and it's done beautifully symmetrical. There's a lot of angles on here in this blade, and I don't see any problems in any of them. The swedge is beautifully done. It's a thin stock, it's a small knife, so it's going to slice. Even though it's got a sabre grind, it's still slicey enough to do the jobs that a knife this size is supposed to. It has got incredibly stabby pokies. So if you're going to be using your knife to get in and cut things, this is the perfect sort of knife that you want. It's going to do a lot of odd jobs or whatever. But it is just a pen knife. It'll cut anything you like. Came razor sharp, 8CR13. Absolutely perfect in a pocket knife, perfect in most knives. The edge just doesn't hold as long as anything else, but as long as you can strop and sharpen, not a problem. The bone, this is called the Glory. No, yes, Glory. No, Honey. The honey, that's the Glory. The honey, for the honey bone, burnt bone there. It is beautiful. The jigging is very plain, but not bad, if that makes any sense. It's very plain. The whole colour, the burnt, the jigging together looks beautiful. The fit and finish is, I can't find fault with it. I mean, granted, I mightn't look as hard as other people, but um, the fit and finish is just beautiful. Everything about it, everything lines up. It's sitting perfect. It has gorgeous inside that's been polished and everything. It's just spun bolsters here, or spun bolsters, spun pins here, which look really, really nice. And they look brass, to be honest with you, which really sets off lovely with that honey-coloured bone. Again, the mid-back lock is very easy to push. It's got a... I'm an auditory person, as you know, and it's got an okay auditory sound from it. When it locks open, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Completely rock solid. Completely rock solid. No movement, up, down, anyway. This is a lockback. There's no movement. People that tell you lockbacks should be able to, they will move up and down. No, that's just bad finishing. Sorry, my opinion. But it's not. A lockback does not have to move. Here's proof. And this is not an expensive knife. And it's made in China. And they can do that without a problem in an inexpensive knife. So don't let people tell you that back locks will often have a wee bit of lock rock. No, bad finishing. It's not particularly centered, but it's not touching. And when you open a knife, you're pushing away. And when you're even doing this, you're pushing away from the blade. I'm not keen on this thumb stud. I really don't. That's kind of the spoiler for this one for me. It's too small for a thumb stud for my big hands. But again, you can pinch open even using the thumb stud, so there's plenty of ways to open it. Just doesn't sit with me, and that would be my only downfall, because other than that, this is a superb little pocket knife you can take out in front of anybody and be sure nobody's going to be frightened of it. These are under 6 inches long. They have a cutting edge of, both of a cutting edge have about 2¼ which is absolutely fine for all my EDC. It's only a 3-finger knife, but the 3 fingers sit beautiful. My back finger sits right in the back of it there. Very comfortable, safe, nothing going to happen, because it is just a 3-finger knife. It is perfect. I can sneak up and maybe get 3.5. And yeah, it's quite comfortable there. I would do that, probably would be my way. Not probably, is my way. So we'll change over now. That's the Almar. This is the Moki. And Moki have been going, like I said, from 1907. And their master craftsmen there are just beautiful. These are handmade knives. This is a production knife, but I do believe there must be some hand finishing to get the connection between the bone and these stainless steel bolsters. It's immaculate. It really is, and I honestly believe there must be sort of hand finishing to get that like that. Anybody knows, please let me know. But this is definitely a handmade knife, and the hand finishing is exceptional. Can you see the difference there? There you go. This is good. But I just think this stands out completely above this one, as in the materials they use and the way it is finished. It is beautiful. And this is a backlock here. This you can pinch open either hand, whatever way you want to, because you have the nail nick here, a little bit of fat, and it doesn't take much, and it opens beautifully. But just that mechanism. Sorry, I put my finger over that. Let me just show you that again. I'll let you hear it again. That is just beautiful. It's a little bit nicer than that. That's already good, but this is just that little bit nicer. But the main thing for me in this knife, let me just tell you, is this mirror finish that's on this blade. It is, there's my phone. I'm just going to bring this down here to get it. You can see I've got my Jack Wolf sticker on the back of my phone. Yeah, I'm a fanboy. But you can read off this without any problems whatsoever. It is so perfectly, there's not an imperfection on it. And it's even the from the bolster, it is just, and you've got a stamped Moki in there. I never even thought to look at that. I think these are all just etched. Yeah, this is etched here, just etched, but it's really nicely done, don't get me wrong. This one is stamped with a Moki sign. Let me just there you go. But you can see how beautifully well even the ricasso and all up here is highly polished. It really is a super mirror polish. This is not only a display piece if you wanted it to, but this is just to show the perfection of the people there to get a mirror finish. And this is not a dear knife, but it is much dearer than this. But the bolster is beautiful, the fit and finish is exceptional, and it is better. Just, just better. This is not completely, like I said, there wasn't any faults. This is smooth, but it maybe dips down a wee bit. You can see a bit of a gap there at the side, but nothing that I would ever complain about for that price. But this quantifies its price by the immaculate fit and finish. Completely flawless. Completely flawless. The cutoff, beautiful at the back off it. The insides, ultra mirror polished on the bottom. Just everything is so crisp. So crisp, so beautiful. I am absolutely stuck on them and I want more. I'm glad I got this one, the Almar. Love it. Absolutely love it. And I probably would get more. I don't need aggressive knives. That's not my jam, if you like. But these, and this is another difference, is this here is quincewood. Now, quince is a hardwood, a fruit tree, grows in Greece, Turkey, Asia, and some European countries are growing them on here as well. But it's getting rarer to get quincewood. The fruit is a yellow fruit shaped sort of like a pear. But when it's ripe, it's a very firm fruit. It's used for jams and things, I believe. And it's also astringent, acidic. It's a thing that's used for jams, or sometimes alcohol. Quince would be in it. So I don't know much about quince. This is just a wee quick read up that I was doing on it. But if I'll show you up here. I'll bring this up. Look at that wood. Come on. How flipping gorgeous. See when you get it right up in your face. Look at that. The depth of that. Where you have the dark colours and then the light, really fine rings down there. It is just gorgeous. Gorgeous, I tell you. Absolutely gorgeous. Let me just get us back down here before I get overexcited. What beautiful wood. What beautiful wood. And this is the back lock, but it's such a small knife. You can open it by the same method, just depressing that and touching with your finger, and then you can close it one-handed, which, if you want to. I use two hands most of the time, unless the other hand's tied up, and that's another part of the story we're not going to go into. But here's another slight difference. This one has a very small, not very small, but it has a small lanyard hole. It is done with a beautiful brass ring right the way through it. It is done to perfection. These are, if you can actually see, these are sort of canted down the way, so there's no rub on them. They're canted into the hole. This is just a hole drilled through, and it's not chipped. There's nothing bad about it, but it just looks too big for the wee knife. For me, that's the only thing I'm saying. It's just a bit big. This looks absolutely beautifully done. Not that I would ever put a lanyard on these wee things, but if you wanted to, nice little thin bit of leather through there, it would look beautiful. And it would look nice through there. We're getting down to pernickety things. And half the times you're trying to justify why you would spend more. But, the wood, the mirror finish, the drop point blade, which is just, honestly, I just think I'll take that in a small knife over a sabre grind any day, because you then have a complete slicing machine. This is looks a little bit thicker in the blade stock. Let me just put these together and we'll see. Oh yeah, it is a little bit thicker. But you have that drop point with the long flat grind on it, which just makes it a super slicer. This is your apple peeler. This is, this is the knife we're going to use. And this is less scary, although they're small knives. But you can see the aggressive look of these compared to this. I just think I'd wanted one of these for years, but I wasn't sure whether the price, I'd never had them in hand. Well, sorry, I think I had one of Slick Slicers in hand. And I did love it, but I still wasn't sure. That was years ago. And then this came up and I bought it in the second-hand market. I bought that one new from Moonraker, and I bought this in a second-hand. I think I traded for this. In fact, I'm sure I traded for this. But beautiful. I'll have to say, I just can't get over how nice and well made this is. and Almar are still making knives as high class as they ever were. Now there's larger and smaller versions of this hawk, and it's worth going onto the site. Go onto the Almar, the Moki site, and check the knives. And Almar, go onto both their sites. I mean, and have a look at them. But if you can't afford the price of these, and I'll tell you in a minute, this is the one, don't be frightened about you're going to get an inferior knife. There's not much difference between these. We're talking, this is Oz 8 and this is 8CR. So, I mean, there's nothing in the blades. But the fit and finish is the mirror finish, the beautiful quince wood, which is just honestly to die for. The extra detail to fit and finish that this has steps it way above this. This would be like comparing what would do? Oh, there we go. It's a fair comparison. A Rosecraft to a GEC. No, it wouldn't, because Rosecrafts are a bit better than this. This is probably going to be something like a Rough Rider Reserve to a GEC knife in price wise, because this one comes in at, let me just be, today on Moonraker is £58, and this on Moonraker today is £128. So that's a big jump, you know. That is a big jump in price. 58, 128. But they are both worth their price point. I think this one's slightly over what its price point could be, and you would not feel ripped off. But I think it's hitting its price. It's hitting the price point. Definitely hitting the price point. That's as good as a Rosecraft blade as far as fit and finish goes. This is a step above. This is a step above, definitely in materials, in the fit and finish, and especially the finishing of like mirror blades. That, I mean, you can get shiny blades. This is mirror, absolutely mirror. You could check your teeth in this, not a problem. So there we go. That's my opinion on a Moki versus the Almar. Both fabulous knives. Glad to have them in my collection, and it's nice to have them as a comparison pair. I hope you enjoyed my little ramble on there, but you know, sometimes getting that little in-depth look lets you see that if you can't afford 128, 58 is your price bracket, you're getting a beautiful knife for £58. And if you can, later on, go for the top one. And I think it's nearly automatic. You'll see why there is that price range. To get this fit and finished by hand, super job. Super. So there you go. I'm away. Thank you very much. Look forward to see you tomorrow night with Joe. And Wednesday we have, Wednesday I'm going to do the review of the Xing Chan knife that I bought recently. And then on Thursday night he's going to be on the podcast. And sharpening on Friday. That's your week covered. You don't need to go anywhere else. Stay with wee Patty. Bye now.